What is going on, everybody around the world? This is Silent Mix, and today I'm here to give my review for WWE Backlash. WWE Backlash just happened a few moments ago for September the 11th, 2016. Going into this pay-per-view or special event, as it's now called, I thought this wasn't going to be a very good show. I was expecting maybe a 6, 5.75, but I thought this was a fine show, surprisingly. There was actually a couple matches that actually surprised me for actually being a better match than what I expected was. And sorry for that car sound out of my window if you heard it. But let's go over the matches that we have here. So there was a pre-show match. We had Baron Corbin against Apollo Crews. I was actually surprised how good this match was. It had a very good pace. I thought both of these guys did very well. The movement, like I said, the pace, the movement was very good. It didn't really slow down from what I can remember. And Baron Corbin picks up the win. This match went on for, I want to say it was like about 10 minutes. I think it was like maybe 10, maybe 11 at most. I don't really keep time here, but it felt like this match was like kind of a good, long, lengthy match. So I'm going to say it was about 10 minutes. But Baron Corbin picks up the win after he did like this running, or not really a running knee, but they were up to the turnbuckle, delivers a knee to Apollo Crews, gives him the end of days 1, 2, 3. So it looks like they may do something with Corbin, and Crews is still on a losing streak here. So who knows what's going to happen with that. I'm going to give it a 2.75 out of 5. Like I said, it was good, but not quite the 3-star range. If it was maybe a little bit longer, I probably would have given it a 3. But 2.75, it was a good match. It was actually enjoyable, surprisingly. Up next was the first actual match on the card, on the main card. The six-pack women's match for the Women's Championship. And actually, this is a pinfall submission elimination match. I actually thought it was like a over-the-top rope elimination match. I was wrong about that. This was another match that shocked me. I thought this was going to be a match, but it actually was another fine, good match. I love the sequence with Naomi and Alexa Bliss, I believe it was. And speaking of Alexa Bliss, I loved the Harley Quinn look. I loved it to death. I thought she looked fantastic with that Harley Quinn look. But there was a good sequence, and then the first elimination was actually by Alexa Bliss. And then after that, they started going through these eliminations like crazy. Like after Alexa Bliss got eliminated, I think like a minute later was Naomi, then it was Natalya, then it was Nikki Bella. So I didn't really like that. I kind of wish like maybe like for like the final 4, I wish it was like maybe like an extra 3-4 minutes. But I thought the eliminations were a little bit too quick. But I'm pretty sure they wanted to give some time for the main events, which made sense. But in the end, surprisingly, at least I thought it was a surprise, Becky Lynch picks up the win and becomes the SmackDown Women's Champion. I was surprised because, as I mentioned before, she's been on this losing streak, and I thought she was going to not win this match, but be built up strong, kind of like an underdog, then win the SmackDown Women's Championship at Survivor Series. But she wins the belt regardless. I'm happy she won, and I give this match a 2.75 out of 5. Once again, just doesn't quite hit the 3 marker. If the eliminations didn't go by like that, I probably would have given this a 3, but I felt like the quick eliminations kind of hurt the match a little bit, but it was still enjoyable to watch regardless. So 2.75 out of 5. Up next was the Usos versus the Hype Bros. The winner of this match would face Slater and Rhyno. This was an okay match, really nothing special to see. Crowd was kind of dead for it, and I think the other thing was that this match was very predictable. I think everyone in that crowd knew that the Usos were going to win, so that's why there was probably no real reaction. I give this match maybe a 2, maybe a 2.25. I'll be a little generous, a 2.25 out of 5. Like I said, nothing much to talk about, nothing much to see. Crowd was really not into it and very predictable. Up next was The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. I thought this was a solid, good match. I love the promo before The Miz came out when he's talking with Daniel Bryan, how he's going to be the one wrestling and that Daniel Bryan wasn't. I thought it was a really good insult that he did with Daniel Bryan backstage. And I even love some of the moves that The Miz was doing. The surfboard, the copying of the yes and the no. Very good stuff here. Very good, solid match. Had a good pace. There was a little bit of a slowness in the middle, but it wasn't too bad. In the end, Maurice pepper sprays, which I thought was pepper spray. Dolph Ziggler in the face. Miz hits him with the skull crusher finale. Picks up the win. And The Miz still retains. I love the ending here. It makes The Miz look still good as a heel. And who knows who he's going to lose this to. Which, it could be Curt Hawkins. I could see being Curt Hawkins when he comes back. But I give this a 3 out of 5. I know some people may think I'm being a little bit too generous, but I thought it was a 3 out of 5. But good match, and as far as Dolph Ziggler is concerned, I have no idea what they do with him from here. Up next was what was supposed to be Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, but Bray attacked Orton backstage, hurt his ankle. Bray won with a forfeit, but then there was another match, and Kane comes out. And it's a no-holds-barred match. Very boring match. Nothing to see here. The one cool spot was the table spot where Bray ran across the table, jumped off, and splashed onto Kane. That was a cool spot. Later on in the match, really slow pace. And then at the end, Orton comes out. He gets in the ring. Quick RKO out of nowhere. Kane hits him with the choke slam and pins him 1, 2, 3. If this doesn't make Bray look weak, if Kane would have beaten him like straight out without the help of Orton, I would have thought Bray would have looked weak. I kind of wish though, because after Orton hit the RKO, Orton has his hands up in the air as he's walking out, saying that, you know, he got the payback on him. What I really would have had loved is when Kane went for the choke slam, Bray just like gets like this second win, hits him with the Sister Abigail, and just wins it like that. And then Orton turns back and he's like, oh my God, what just happened? I would have loved it if it was like that. That probably would have made Bray like even more deadly serious, but they didn't do that. I give the matchup a 2. I mean, like I said, the table spot was good. I thought the ending was cool, that Orton got his payback. But it seems like they may hold this off to No Mercy, it seems. But 2 out of 5. Up next was Heath, Slater and Rhyno versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I actually thought this was actually more entertaining than the Hype Bros match. The crowd was really into it. They were into Slater. They were buying into the fact that Slater and Rhyno could pull off the upset win. And overall, this was a fine match. Like I said, it kept the crowd entertained. The crowd was into it. And towards the end, Slater gets like this fire spark in him. Rhyno hits the gore with the referee not looking. Slater crawls over, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. Slater and Rhyno pick up the win. They get the tag team titles, and Slater now has a contract with SmackDown. I give this a 2.5. Like I said, it was better than the Hype Bros, but it wasn't like great, like a 3-star match. But for what it was worth, it was fine. It was a fine 2.5 star out of 5. And then finally, the main event, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship. I thought this was a great match. I loved, towards the end, actually, because I knew they had to play the kick in the ball spot. And I love the ref bump leading to AJ kicking Dean Ambrose in the balls, hitting him with the Styles Clash, and he picks up the win and wins the WWE Championship. And I actually called it, that AJ Styles was going to win. I love the spots with the Pele kick. Dean goes off the rope and hits him with the clothesline. I love that spot right there. I love the little interaction with the crowd. I thought that was really cool. Overall, this had a really good pace. I think the one problem, the one problem was there was a bit of a slowdown. Once again, in the middle, which usually seems to happen, but it wasn't a big deal because it did pick the pace up a little bit afterwards, but I thought it kind of hurt the match, but not really. But overall, this was a great, great match. And the ending was so beautifully job well done. And AJ Styles now has won the NWA Heavyweight Champion when he was in TNA, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship when he was in TNA, the ROH Heavyweight Champion, which I believe he won the ROH Heavyweight Champion, the NWJP Heavyweight Champion, and now the WWE Championship. So he's won 5 titles in 4 major companies: WWE, TNA, ROH, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I say that's a huge accomplishment for that guy, AJ Styles, and I give him huge props for that. 4 out of 5 for this match. Overall, this event was very shockingly fine but good at the same time. I give this, let's see, calculating everything that I have said, I'll give it a 6 points. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 6.75. I was thinking more 6.5, but I'll be a little generous. I'll give it a 6.75 out of 10. Like I said, this event shocked me. It was actually good. I would definitely check the women's match, the Intercontinental, and then obviously the World Heavyweight Championship. And with that, this is my review for WWE Backlash 2016. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Give this video a like if you thought this show was good. Give it a dislike if you thought this show sucked. Leave your comments, share this video, and as always, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. And until then, you guys have a good night, and I will see you later.